Have you ever thought about why so many homeless in America turn to drugs even when they have everything to lose? It's a difficult question, but one that really needs our attention. As homelessness keeps rising, more people are getting caught in a dangerous loop of addiction. So, what makes someone so likely to fall into this trap when they're already living on the streets with almost no support? In this video, we'll dig into the hidden connection between homelessness and substance abuse, and look at the surprising reasons why addiction can take hold so easily. Stick around as we show how these two problems feed off each other and what must change to finally break the cycle. Understanding homelessness in America today. Homelessness in America has reached a tipping point. In 2024, more than 771,000 people experienced homelessness on any given night, according to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development (SHUD). This shocking number begs the question, why are so many Americans struggling to secure stable housing? While affordability is a huge factor, it's far from the only one. Economic challenges, mental health issues, and even the care of veterans all play a role in this growing crisis.
The rent is too high. It's even going up in even these rooming houses. And, people are using drugs to escape. And the drug use is making you come out here more. You don't pay your rent. You're not working enough. And that's part of, contributing to the problem.
And the problem isn't just in major cities like Los Angeles, New York, and San Francisco. Smaller towns and rural communities are also seeing homelessness rates climb. In fact, the issue has spread well beyond the urban centers we usually associate with visible homelessness. It's easy to overlook just how big this problem has become, but the reality is clear: more people are living without homes. And increasingly, homelessness is connected to substance abuse. The reasons behind homelessness are complicated and interconnected. A shortage of affordable housing, rising rents, and stagnant wages make it nearly impossible for many to keep up with living costs. At the same time, a large portion of the homeless population struggles with mental health conditions such as depression, schizophrenia, and PTSD.
I have really bad PTSD because my whole life I've been raped and abused and used. And I feel like that's a lot of our stories, but that's just, I have really bad flashbacks and nightmares. So when I get high, it kind of just stops.
Without proper health care and support, these individuals find it extremely difficult to maintain stable housing. Veterans, many dealing with PTSD, are also overrepresented in homelessness statistics, highlighting a failure to provide adequate care for those who've served the country. This growing crisis affects more than just those without homes. It has wide-reaching impacts on communities, influencing healthcare, public safety, and local economies. So how does this rise in homelessness tie into another urgent issue, substance abuse? Let's dive into that next. How homelessness and substance abuse are connected. It's no secret that homelessness and substance abuse are closely connected. Research shows that a significant number of homeless individuals in America use drugs, and this connection is far from random. The reasons why people without stable housing are more likely to turn to drugs are many and complicated. First, living on the streets or in shelters brings constant stress and pressure. For many, the daily threats of violence exposure to extreme weather and lack of essentials like food, water, and medical care make survival a constant struggle. In such harsh conditions, drugs often become a way to escape the intense fear and pain. For many homeless individuals, substances provide a short-lived relief from the stress and trauma they face every day, even if only temporarily. But that relief doesn't last, and the cycle of addiction continues.
I had to, my body needed it. Every time I woke up, I was sick. You know, it's like it controls you. You can't function, you can't do anything without it.
Homelessness also takes a heavy emotional toll. Feelings of shame, depression, and hopelessness frequently weigh on those without a home. Without the support networks, most people rely on family, friends, or a stable community. Many turn to drugs to numb the emotional pain. It becomes a way to block out the loneliness, the sense of worthlessness, and the constant reminder of being invisible to society. In many ways, drugs offer a fleeting sense of escape from a harsh reality. But there's more to it. Homelessness often puts people in close contact with the illegal drug trade. In areas with large homeless populations such as Skid Row in Los Angeles, drugs are not only easy to find, but also easy to access. For someone without a permanent home or steady income, buying drugs may feel easier than getting a meal or finding housing. The widespread use of substances in these environments only reinforces the cycle of addiction.
Like, this is where people you only come here either to get money, to get high, and that's it. There's no other option out of this place.
It's not just the environment pushing homeless individuals toward drugs. The lack of access to treatment and health care is also a huge factor. Without proper support systems or rehabilitation programs, many remain stuck in addiction. This lack of access makes it even harder to escape substance abuse, further harming their mental and physical health.
Yeah, I never used to do it. I don't know when it started, but I'll throw up. And if I don't have enough dopamine, I take a hit.
But what if we could offer homeless individuals more than just a roof over their heads? What if we provided the support they truly need to recover and rebuild their lives? Is it possible to break the vicious cycle of homelessness and addiction? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more insights into this urgent issue. Why homeless individuals turn to drugs. To understand why homeless people are more likely to access and use drugs, we need to take a closer look at the structural factors that make drugs both easy to get and hard to resist for those without stable housing. First, consider the financial side of things. For individuals without a steady income or permanent address, buying drugs can feel easier than securing food or shelter. The price of a meal or even a night in a shelter can often be higher than the cost of a dose of heroin or meth. In many situations, drugs become part of daily life simply because they are more attainable than basic necessities like meals or safe lodging. Could the lack of access to essentials really push someone toward the heartbreaking choice of prioritizing drugs over survival? This problem is made worse by the fact that substances like heroin and meth are often sold at very low prices in areas with large homeless populations. The demand is high, and dealers know they can profit from selling to people who are struggling on the streets. In many cities, drug use is so widespread among homeless communities that it becomes a routine part of life. But does this normalization make it even harder for homeless individuals to resist, especially when they are constantly surrounded by it? The easy availability of drugs creates an extremely risky environment for those already vulnerable to addiction. Equally concerning is the emotional and psychological burden that homelessness brings. As noted before, being homeless often leads to depression, anxiety, and other mental health struggles. In these situations, drugs can feel like a way to self-medicate. The brief escape they provide helps numb the fear, pain, and stress that come with living without a home. At the same time, homelessness usually means a lack of protective support systems that most people take for granted. Without family, friends, or access to mental health care, many homeless individuals are left to navigate life on their own. The absence of supportive networks makes it even harder to break the cycle of addiction. Additionally, the social stigma around both homelessness and drug use often keeps people from seeking help. Homeless people are frequently seen as invisible or undeserving of support. This societal neglect, combined with the criminalization of drug use, makes it much harder for them to access the services they need to recover. How can anyone be expected to escape this cycle when the system is so stacked against them? How substance abuse worsens homelessness. The link between substance abuse and homelessness is not just a simple correlation, it's a destructive, self-reinforcing cycle that worsens the struggles of those already living on the streets. For homeless individuals, addiction makes it even harder to find stable housing, hold down a job, or maintain any kind of social connection. Substance abuse intensifies both physical and mental health challenges, pushing vulnerable people further into instability and isolation. One of the most immediate effects of substance abuse among the homeless population is the serious toll it takes on physical health. Drugs like heroin, methamphetamine, and fentanyl can cause life-threatening problems such as overdoses, infections from unsafe needle use, and the spread of communicable diseases like HIV and hepatitis. These health issues not only make day-to-day survival more difficult, but also limit access to much-needed medical care. Many homeless shelters are already stretched thin and underfunded, often lacking enough medical staff to handle the complex health problems linked to substance abuse. Without proper care, the cycle of declining health continues, taking a heavier toll on both physical and mental well-being. But how can someone start to heal when their body is so ravaged by addiction and neglect? This question underscores the deep barriers preventing the homeless in America from escaping this vicious cycle. Beyond physical damage, substance abuse worsens mental health issues like depression, anxiety, and PTSD. Many homeless individuals already struggle with these conditions, and drugs offer a temporary escape from a painful reality. Yet this escape is fleeting and reinforces feelings of hopelessness, isolation, and despair, making it even harder to regain control of one's life. Substance abuse also creates major obstacles to reintegration into society. Addiction makes it nearly impossible to maintain steady employment or develop the skills needed for independence. Without a stable home or consistent income, the chances of long-term recovery remain slim. The social isolation caused by homelessness and addiction makes it even more difficult to break free. And what happens when someone is trapped not only by addiction, but also by the stigma of being homeless? This dynamic creates a self-perpetuating loop where homelessness fuels addiction and addiction reinforces homelessness. Criminalization of homelessness and drug use only makes matters worse. Many homeless individuals are arrested for minor drug-related offenses, and criminal records make it even harder to access housing programs, job opportunities, or other support. How can someone rebuild their life when society continues to treat them like a criminal? This situation reflects deeper systemic issues, including a shortage of affordable housing, inadequate mental health care, and the broader criminalization of poverty. As drugs like fentanyl and meth become more prevalent in homeless communities, the crisis intensifies. What's clear is that homelessness and substance abuse cannot be solved separately. Both need to be addressed together to create lasting change. Government efforts and strategies to address the crisis. Addressing homelessness and substance abuse in America requires a coordinated, multifaceted approach that tackles the root causes head-on. While the federal government has made some progress in combating homelessness, there is still a long way to go to develop lasting solutions. Various programs and policies exist to provide shelter, healthcare, and rehabilitation, but they fall short of addressing the full scale of the crisis. One of the most notable initiatives has been the implementation of Housing First programs. Housing First focuses on giving homeless individuals permanent housing before tackling other issues such as addiction or mental health challenges. This approach recognizes that stable housing is a foundation for recovery, and once people have a safe place to live, they are far more likely to engage in treatment programs and rebuild their lives. Research has shown that Housing First programs can significantly reduce homelessness and support sobriety, providing the stability necessary for healing. However, Housing First alone is not enough. Many homeless individuals also need comprehensive mental health care and addiction treatment to address the underlying causes of their homelessness. To be truly effective, programs must integrate mental health services and substance abuse treatment alongside housing support. Cities like Los Angeles and Seattle have begun implementing programs that combine housing therapy and addiction treatment. These integrated services have shown real promise in breaking the cycle of homelessness and substance abuse, yet they remain underfunded and out of reach for many who need them. There's also a critical need for increased investment in community-based rehabilitation programs. While emergency shelters are necessary, they are not designed as long-term solutions. Rehabilitation centers, which focus on addiction treatment and social support, play a vital role in helping homeless individuals recover. Unfortunately, these programs are often overcrowded, underfunded, and lack the resources to address the complex needs of homeless populations. Expanding access to these services can help ensure that homeless individuals receive the support required to overcome addiction and regain stability. Harm reduction strategies also offer a promising approach to rehabilitation. Harm reduction focuses on minimizing the negative consequences of drug use like overdoses without requiring immediate abstinence. These programs provide services such as supervised injection sites, needle exchanges, and access to naloxone, a medication that can reverse opioid overdoses. Though sometimes controversial harm reduction has been shown to save lives and guide individuals toward long-term treatment programs. For homeless individuals, harm reduction offers a realistic and compassionate approach that acknowledges the realities of addiction while providing essential support. Ultimately, solving the twin crises of homelessness and substance abuse requires treating them as interconnected issues rather than separate problems. Comprehensive policies at both federal and local levels must provide not only housing, but also mental health care addiction, treatment, job training, and social support. Solutions must be personalized, recognizing that each individual's path to recovery is unique and requires tailored support. Personal insights: breaking the cycle of homelessness and addiction. I've had the chance to travel across nearly every corner of America, and everywhere I go, I see the same heartbreaking reality: homelessness. From the busy streets of New York City to the quiet towns and rural areas, the problem is everywhere, and it's clear to me that homelessness and addiction are closely linked. It's not just about a lack of housing or drug use alone. These issues are deeply intertwined, and we can no longer treat them as separate challenges. I've seen firsthand how one problem feeds into the other, creating a cycle that's incredibly hard to escape. The solution seems clear: we need a holistic approach. We must develop programs that tackle housing, mental health care, and addiction all at the same time. I've met so many people who, with the right support, whether that's a safe place to live, access to health care, or addiction treatment, could have a much better chance at recovery. Without these essential resources, many homeless individuals are left to survive on their own, often sinking deeper into addiction as they try to cope with the harsh realities of their lives. Can we as a society do more to prevent homelessness before it even starts? And if we provide comprehensive support, could we reduce substance abuse among the homeless population? These are questions we all need to confront, not just policymakers, but everyone. If we truly want to make a difference, we need to see the issue as a whole and respond with both compassion and urgency. Conclusion. In summary, the connection between homelessness and substance abuse is a deeply rooted problem in America that cannot be fixed with quick solutions. The challenges faced by the homeless in America are complex and interconnected, and tackling them requires a thoughtful, compassionate approach that combines housing, mental health care, and addiction treatment. We need to focus on long-term strategies, including expanding Housing First programs, improving access to comprehensive rehabilitation services, and implementing harm reduction initiatives. Only through these efforts can we begin to break the cycle of addiction and homelessness, giving individuals a real opportunity to reclaim their lives and build a better future. The time to act is now,